thought we could help him. But I was wrong. It's time we cut out the cancer.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Scary Door. I'm Chris, this is Billbo, and today we're reviewing Malignant.
So Malignant is about a lady named Madison, and when she was younger, she had an imaginary friend named Gabrielle. And Gabrielle comes back into Madison's life, and he's quite a headache to this two-faced lady.
Double whammy. That's amazing. So Malignant starts off at 93 at a psych hospital, and then you get introduced to the main doctor who is working with Madison.
Yeah.
You don't know it's Madison just yet.
It's just a strange, weird-looking monster.
Yeah.
Creature thing. That's all you see.
Yeah. And it kills the nurses who are working with it, and you hear like creepy noises and everything too.
Like telekinetic through, like using powers through like the radio.
That's right.
Talking through the radio.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's non-verbal, but verbal through radio.
Yeah, like
signals and things like that. All right. So before we get into it too much, Bilbo, give us a score.
7.
Yeah, really?
7. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. Pros and cons? Or do you want to talk about the movie first?
I want to talk about the movie first, and then we can go through like our pros and cons to the movie.
Okay. I gave it a 5.
Hey, what the hell do you think of yourself?
5.
I gave it a 5.
Okay. So I
Out of
really
10.
thought this would have been up your alley, a film.
Oh, really?
Because you love your 80s weird.
Man, that's what I loved. Oh, we'll get into pros and cons later.
Yeah.
But that is one of my pros.
Yeah.
Like the look of it.
Yeah.
Like the direction of it, like the colours.
Yeah.
Like especially like the 80s vibe.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that later.
All right.
After the hospital, then we're kind of introduced to the present day. And Maddie is a nurse, a pregnant nurse. And she's married to an absolute abusive asshole who throws her against the wall.
Well, first off, she turns the TV off.
That's rude.
He wasn't even watching the TV. It was on his phone.
Oh, yeah.
And then he started getting a bit in her face.
Yeah. He seems...
And that's when he mentioned this is why you can't have babies. We've had 3 miscarriages. And then slams her head against the wall.
That's rude.
Yeah. So he's a bit of a short-tempered asshole. And then you'll learn later on that her smacking her head... No, actually, I won't even talk about that.
That's
just
a big
yet.
spoiler.
I won't even talk about that just yet. She hits her head against the wall. She locks him out of the room. He's very apologetic. She's locked him out. He says, "I'm sorry." He decides to sleep downstairs.
Yeah.
And this is where shit
Hits the fan.
hits the fan.
When you first meet Gabrielle.
Yeah. But in this scene where you're introduced to Gabrielle, he kind of looks more ghostly.
Yeah.
Like he moves more...
The movie's kind of like trying to, I don't know, either make it across like it's a haunted house or like a entity in the house of some sort.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the kind of thing that threw me halfway. But I kind of understand... See, I don't want to talk about it too much. We can come back to talking about how he like moves as a ghost and all that.
Yeah.
Hey everyone who's watching, just a little Chris here, just doing some editing and doing some stuff, just letting everyone know that we actually never get back to talking about that. But I just thought, if people are excited about, oh yeah, like I can't wait till they get back talking about that. Spoiler alert, we totally forget about it. Okay, enjoy.
When you first see Gabrielle, he moves very ghostly.
Yeah.
And shadowy, figurey like.
Yeah, like when the fridge opens up, he's there in the light.
Yeah.
Disappears instantly.
Yeah. The neighbours hear screaming. Maddie finds her husband dead, a snap neck. Then Maddie tries to escape. She gets knocked out from Gabrielle.
Gabrielle. Because she gets James Wan must have hated her. He,
All these female casts kind of get it, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Sexist bastard.
You said it appears wildly sexist stuff. Are you anti-woman?
So the cops get involved, and then later on, they do an autopsy on the husband, who's got a snap neck, like a twig. Police officer, detective makes a note that she's like, it's weird because it's like he was hanging from the roof. His hands were back to front.
yeah.
Which was weird because I didn't get it, because I haven't seen it
Yeah.
until now. I thought I did, which was weird, but
So
I hadn't seen
I
it.
watched it when it first came out in 2021.
yeah.
And then so I already knew about the idea, but on the rewatch, I think I picked up on a few other things.
Yeah. No, so I didn't pick up because I thought that was weird when they're doing the autopsy. And another weird thing, because it's a James Wan movie, I always look out from the background to
Yeah.
see if there's like ghosts.
Yeah, like in The
and-
Conjurings. And
Yeah. So a thing I picked up in, and I'll put it up on the screen. But when they're doing the autopsy, the detective's talking, and there's someone it looks like there's someone behind her.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
But I had to rewind it because I'm like, is it like a mirror? I haven't looked online to see if it actually is anything, but there is like a figure behind her. But
Yeah.
it could be the doctor who's done the autopsy. But it's weird
okay.
because they're not in the picture. It's weird. I'll
yeah.
put it up and have a geezer.
Madison kind of has visions of these killings
Yeah.
when the killings start happening. So
Yeah.
with the two nurses at the start, she wakes up in both of their deaths.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like she thinks she can. She's got. How would you explain?
Like a psychic
yeah,
ability
she
to
know before these murders
Yeah.
happen.
so maybe prevent
Yeah.
it from happening or something.
Yeah,
And
but
then
everyone's connected to this Gabrielle who are dying around her
yeah,
which
so
is-
everyone who's dying is related to
To-
when
at the start of the film.
who's worked on them
Yeah,
or worked on Gabrielle back in 93
Yeah.
or 92, 93.
yeah,
Yeah, and whatever. Yeah, back then. But she wakes up in the hospital and she's lost her baby again.
yeah.
So this is her third miscarriage. After that happens, she's depressed. And then that's when she starts seeing the visions
Yeah.
of the killings.
Don't you think when, I can't remember what scene it was, but when the walls start, turning and melting, looking...
Yeah.
Doesn't that remind you of Silent Hill?
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, true. Yeah, it really does.
That's why I thought of you straight away, too, because...
Hear the siren.
then it might be a bit better of a movie.
The
Why
reason-
didn't you like it? Why did you give it a 5?
The reason I gave it a 5 was I hated the acting.
Yeah.
I hated the acting. And I feel it's typical, I don't even know what to call it, but the popular horror, like the James Wan kind of horror, is always that type of acting. I'm not talking about the old stuff, because it's Insidious and Conjuring and all that,
Yeah.
were awesome. How Sydney, the sister,
Yeah.
Maddie's sister, has got a little crush on
Yeah.
the detective.
Yeah.
It's cool, but it's just done it's done in a way that it's cringy.
I agree to disagree. This is good.
Yeah, okay,
Because
go.
I like how... I think James Wan did well, and his envision was making this movie a bit of a campy 80s flick. That's what he
Yeah.
went out to do.
Yeah.
So I think he did well with that, but I do agree that some of the acting was it was hard.
Man.
Like that doctor at the start, I wanted to punch him. He was terrible. And it was a bit overboard on some bits, but I kind of went with it.
Yeah,
'cause
no.
I kind of
Yeah,
enjoyed
no.
the camp.
No, I know what you mean, because originally I gave it a 6 out of 10,
Yeah.
but when I was writing down my pros and cons, I kind of felt when I thought about it, the cheesy acting. But no, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Because I love so a pro I put in here was the camera angles,
The camera angles
the
are
use
amazing.
of light
Yeah.
looked awesome.
Yeah, that was 10 out of 10.
Especially when you first meet Gabrielle and she's running through the house. that bird's eye view
Yeah,
of
it
her
reminded
run
me of
through.
it was going through like a dollhouse.
Yeah,
it
it
was
looked
showing
so.
each room she was going through. Yeah,
Yes, it looked awesome.
yeah. Some of the music was weird. It was a strange taste. Like, remember when she found out she was adopted? She's like, "Oh, like I'm adopted."
I
And
can't
there was like this
remember.
music behind this.
I
This
can't
this is
remember.
like,
Mom told me that my biological mother died during my birth. Sydney, I'm adopted.
Bitch, I'm LBL, yeah, I'm fuck bitch free. I ain't got no girl up on my.
like, it was all surprised and like they really.
I can't even
it
remember
was
that.
Shocking, but
Really?
it was the campy ass.
Like
A
what?
lot of it did make sense. There's a lot of unanswered questions I want to know, like how the hell Gabriel had these powers of like he was superhuman. He wasn't.
Yeah,
We'll go into spoilers. So Gabriel was a parasite,
a twin parasite.
a twin parasite that they at the start of the film these doctors cut this parasitic monster out of Madison. But then instead of killing, it would kill Madison, so they just
Jack in the
jammed,
box.
just jammed the rest of it in.
Man, I love that bit.
It was so funny.
It's like
They just
shove it in, like
shoved in the back of her head.
man.
So when the husband slammed her head against the wall years and years later, it
Yeah.
awoke Gabrielle.
Yeah,
So it doesn't quite make sense to me why it's still in Madison's body. Why wouldn't she have these powers? Why is he, when Gabrielle's woken up, he just turns in this insane superhuman abilities. He can talk through radios, which
Yeah.
never gets explained. There's scenes where Madison can see Gabrielle, but I'm like, they're one, unless she's obviously probably envisioning it, but they didn't come across like that in the film.
no, and then but she kind of does realize at the end that she's got these. And man, this is so dumb because that heavy hospital bed's on Sydney.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you can't lift it. Or however it goes.
That's
and
the
she goes,
scene.
no, but he can do it, so I can do it. And she lifts the bed off, and it's like, come on,
hate
like
that bit.
what?
I hate that. I love the bit up leading to that
Yeah.
in the police station. That gave it like a good point. That was nearly price admission alone for the film. Was that scene?
When she gets thrown in the cell,
Yeah, and leading
With
through the cop shop.
prozzies,
Yeah,
prostitutes, and whatever, that was cool.
it was amazing.
That was so cool.
And I love the gore too, 'cause it's an R-rated film. It was
Man, that's another pro
Yeah.
I did. The special effects and gore, top notch.
very surprising.
Man, they were so good. Mm-hmm. And when she lets loose in the police station,
So good.
cutting off limbs,
But you kind
What?
of, it's like a bit. It's more like an action film. If you think
it
about
was
too.
so actiony.
Yeah, it was. But I was kind of with it. I kind
Yeah,
of.
no, I enjoyed the action side of
I
it.
don't know. I just liked
Yeah.
the movie. I just found it so campy. But
No, that's
I was
good.
laughing
Yeah,
through it. And
yeah, and that's probably my problem. I probably didn't take it for what it was, but I was expecting. I think what I'm doing is I'm probably comparing the previous because Insidious and The Conjuring.
yeah,
man,
and Saw, the original Saw.
oh man, they're like serious horrors. Like they're in my top horror movies.
Yeah,
And I think that's what I keep expecting
yeah,
from him.
yeah.
So every time he produces or directs something, because he actually directed this.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, yes, here we go.
So when he's got his name on the producing shit, I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like Night Swim.
Yeah. And he co-wrote this as well. So I was
Well,
really...
I read an article that he pretty much warned people not to go into it expecting a horror.
see,
He's going
damn.
for an 80s trope.
Oh,
Not a cliche, but an 80s tropey, bloody, campy movie. And then apparently when they did the test screening, people were laughing, but actually laughing. And
Okay, so enjoy laugh.
enjoy laugh,
Okay,
and that's
right.
what he was out to.
Oh, really?
That's what he wanted out to do. He wanted to make this weird, campy film. And then you watch the trailer, and you're like, "This is nothing." It was nothing to do with it. So it's like,
Oh,
I don't
really?
know,
So it's
they,
mixed.
they
bit
didn't
of a mix.
advertise it. They did not advertise it the way he envisioned it.
See,
which-
that's weird. If it did come across that, then maybe I would have enjoyed it more. It was, to me, it come across cheesy.
Yeah.
And that's what I hated about it. But like I said, the pros, I've got these are my pros. I got violence, action, the direction, camera angles, use of light looked amazing. I loved I love the house. I love the fog. Man, I loved all that. The neon lights.
Yeah.
With that scene where he's got the motel across.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
talking about that scene. And this is the dumb shit I think in my head. But he finds water on the floor. Footsteps and all that lead in. He's like, oh, okay, window's open. He's like, oh, okay, I better clean that up and go back to bed. Man, if I saw wet footsteps leading anywhere, I'd be out.
Oh, yeah.
Like a pussy.
Yeah.
I'd be out of there, man. Or ringing someone or getting a knife or something. He's just like, oh, I better go to town and clean that up and go to bed. So
I was pretty happy when he died, though. I hated him.
Yeah, and it was cool.
Getting stabbed in the face.
Yeah.
That was pretty brutal.
It was very brutal. The thing with Gabrielle, I don't know, it kind of, and I loved this as well, it kind of reminded me of, like, Pumpkinhead. Like,
yeah.
Like, I loved that.
Well, I reckon G didn't achieve it, but I think James Wan was trying to come across with that, the campiness, make Gabrielle an icon, as like an iconic horror creature villain.
Yeah.
Like Freddy, like Saw. I mean, not like Saw, like Freddy, like Jason.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Pinhead, Trick or Treat, and all them, like the old.
Man, I just wish it took itself more serious, but in saying that, you enjoyed that side of it not being so serious. Yeah. But my cons were the story was okay, I'll say this. The story was a little bit The writing there was some parts, I was going to say this as well. There's a part where Sydney is driving to the hospital.
Yeah.
And I'll put a clip up. But she's driving to the hospital and she goes around the corner. She sees the hospital and she's like, oh my gosh. She's like 5 kilometers away from the hospital.
Yeah.
Then she pulls up and it's like the middle of the night.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to rewind it because I'm like, did I miss something? Because when she went back, when she was like going through crap, I was like, because it didn't really hit me. I was like, wait, wasn't it just daytime when she pulled up? So I had to rewind it. And seriously, it goes from daytime to the middle of the night.
Yeah, it's a bit
in 5 kilometers.
It's a bit all over the joint, this movie, but I loved it. Well, I like this because I reckon this movie is a very divisive film. You either love it or you hate it. So
yeah,
I reckon you're on the other side of the fence when I'm on the other.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I found it.
I just find it a bit of a fresh air. Because all the horrors nowadays are just shit.
Yes.
In the past 20th century, they're just all, and this is just different.
Yeah, nice.
So
that's so weird, man. Because I feel that this is not different. I feel it feels like.
I feel like I don't like you now.
What's in the channel? No, it just feels like it's just play it safe horror. That's how I feel. But anyway,
no. Please say how they. I want to know how you think they're playing it safe, Chris.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
No, I do agree. I see why people would really not like this film, but maybe it's because it's my second sitting and I kind of knew before I come into it. I can't remember what I thought of it back then because I think I watched it at the cinemas when it came out.
Oh yeah, cool. Why doesn't Maddie wake up Saul? That's just the other thing as well.
And another thing, actually, speaking of plot holes on the same line, when the cop shot Gabrielle, when it was Gabrielle, remember when he shot?
Yeah.
Wouldn't she have a bullet hole? Wouldn't
That's right, she got shot in the back.
Yeah, wouldn't she wake up
Yeah.
with a bit of a scrape or a bullet? It wasn't, I don't think it hit Gabrielle, but it definitely, I mean, don't think it went all the way.
Oh, yeah,
I think it just scraped him.
Yeah, that's right.
So wouldn't she wake up with a bullet hole
true.
or a wound or something?
4 out of 10.
Yeah, but no, 8 out of 10.
She heals.
So don't explain Gabriel's side of things. He could be, when Gabriel forms, he could have these abilities.
Man, it might be from all the the fetuses that he feeds off.
Yes, because
maybe he could get his strength through that. Because they did say that.
They did. Well, the stepsister said it.
Yeah, that's why you're having
miscarriages.
miscarriages.
Did she know? I love that when
Who
she's
you?
like, I love that scene where she, when after before she lifted the bed up, where she's like, "This is you can beat him, Madison. You can beat Gabrielle."
yeah.
When she took over, it's like, "This is the one who's been eating your fetuses," and then that's when she's like, had the power to come back and beat Gabrielle,
yeah,
and use
that's
his
true.
power against him. Like, shut up!
Yeah.
I love this.
Maddie, I know you can hear me. You have to fight him.
Madison's not home.
Madison, he killed your babies. He was the cause of your miscarriages. He was feeding off of your fetuses to build himself back up. Maddie, please come back.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, we'll see you guys next time. See you later.
Bye.